Hey guys, welcome back to a very special Canon Fodder. This week saw the formal launch of Halo Fleet Battles, a tabletop Halo game where players engage in, well, fleet battles. There's a lot to go over today, but before we get into the really good stuff, I want to briefly talk about another blog post on Waypoint, one by Josh Holmes regarding Halo 5's co-op. It's a great read if you haven't read it, detailing the development of the co-op mode for Halo 5, the Musketeer system, how various Spartans will play differently from one another, Kelly is slightly faster for example, and gives a much more comprehensive explanation for the lack of split screen. I am by no means saying it's an excuse. I'm still kinda pissed, but it's better than just hearing 60 frames a second, 1080p. Check it out when you can, link in the description box below. Moving on to the really good stuff, let's talk fleet battles. We start out with an interview with Neil Fawcett, creative director at Spartan Games. God, I love that there's a company called Spartan Games that specializes in tabletop games. It's like Destiny or something. Anyway, the interview is freaking awesome. I'd call some of it redundant if you've kept up with every small detail regarding the game's development, but most people haven't. That reminds me, the YouTube channel Beasts of War did an unboxing and an in-depth interview with some chaps from Spartan Games. It's long, but worth it. Click the on-screen annotation, or check the link in the description box below. The very end of the interview with Mr. Fawcett is the absolute best, giving us a look at what's to come. Valiant-class super heavy carriers such as Admiral Cole's flagship, the UNSC Everest, is one. These ships are 1.5 kilometers long in real life, meaning about half the size of the ORS-class carrier. It's kind of funny that it's called a super heavy carrier when it's a kilometer shorter than the Epoch class. Maybe it's super heavy for other reasons. I mean, it's almost a giant Halcyon/Autumn class ship. Another one that's coming out is the UNSC supercarrier Trafalgar. During the Human Covenant War, this thing was the pride of the UNSC Navy, though sadly it was destroyed during the battle at Reach. Lastly, Phoenix-class ships and the UNSC Infinity were both mentioned as possible future expansions. I personally can't wait for those. With a Valiant-class carrier, a Phoenix-class ship, and a few other classes, we could eventually recreate Admiral Cole's fleet. How cool would it be to reenact the Second Battle of Harvest? Moving forward, we get another interview, this time with Kenneth Peters of 343 Industries franchise team. Kenneth was, as Grimm notes, instrumental in the development of fleet battles, especially when it comes to lore. You know now we're in for a treat. The interview is extremely lore-heavy, but only gives glimpses at what we might learn. Notably, Ken says that we'll learn a bit more about the fleet of Valiant Prudence, how it found Reach, and what the motivation of the fleet's supreme commander were. We'll actually learn a bit about Ro Barutami, the commander, in a little bit, but the idea of learning more about these opening skirmishes prior to the arrival of the fleet of Particular Justice just has me so excited. Not long ago, a fan asked if I'd be reworking my Battle of Reach timeline video in light of any new info revealed in the upcoming animated adaptation of Fall of Reach. While it remains to be seen what, if any, references to Halo Reach 343 may add, the new lore from fleet battles alone will ensure an updated timeline is in the works. I'm hesitant to promise any sort of release window yet, but you can be sure that an updated timeline will happen. Anyway, the interview goes on to detail how ships were designed, how rules and gameplay were developed, and another look at what's to come. Ken name drops the Trafalgar again, but also mentions the Halberd-class destroyer. Familiar ships from this class include the UNSC Iroquois and UNSC Heart of Midlothian. Closing out the article is a piece of art depicting a Sangheili hunting ground found on board one of the Covenant's agricultural support vessels. I love stuff like this. Not only is it completely new, but it gives the briefest of glimpses at what Covenant soldiers do in between enacting galaxy-wide campaigns of mass genocide. So serene. But seriously, I do love this, and I hope that fleet battles and similar projects give 343 more chances to explore stuff that isn't always about stopping the end of all life in the galaxy. As an aside, I have to wonder if this is set on a ship like the Infinite Succor, or if it's another agricultural ship style that we haven't seen yet. So that ends the article and brings us to the new universe entries. Keeping with the theme, this week we have the two leaders of the first fleets revealed in fleet battles, Vice Admiral Hieronymus Michael Stanforth and Supreme Commander Ro Barutami. Both articles are incredibly insightful regardless of your knowledge of the lore. Hieronymus Michael Stanforth was a UNSC Vice Admiral, commander of Battle Group Leviathan, and head of ONI Section 3 during the planning and implementation of the Spartan 2 program. A thought occurs. Could Stanforth be the reason that Parengoski wasn't informed about the clones? If you'll recall, in Halo Glasslands, Parengoski reveals that one reason why she hates Halsey so much is because of the clones used in the Spartan 2 program. Long story short, she felt it was a waste of resources and led to more problems than solutions. Apparently, despite Parengoski being the head of ONI, Halsey was able to keep the existence of these clones from her. It's fucking stupid no matter how you slice things, don't get me wrong. but I have to wonder if Stanforth might be how those secrets were kept from Parangoski. Anyway, Stanforth was quite the UNSC commander, and though he helped secure a victory at Sigmoctanus IV in July of 2552, a month later, the good admiral died in action, while leading the remaining ships in the Epsilon Eridani fleet against the Covenant onslaught. A moment of silence for a great man. Next up, we have Ro Barutami, Supreme Commander of the fleet of Valiant Prudence. Now this is exciting, a whole new character with a whole new backstory. Ro is an extremely interesting character, as it's noted that he didn't really care for the war against the humans. Instead, whilst at Reach, his goal was to steal away the trove of Forerunner relics that lay beneath Reach in hopes of finding the Forerunner capital world, Maithrillion. Pausing a moment, I can't be the only one who thinks that sounds just a little too Tolkien, right? It sounds more elvish than Forerunner. But I digress. Anyway, as one might suspect, Ro is thought dead in the wake of Long Night of Solace's destruction, his goals never realized. I can't help but wonder if Cortana might have held the location of Maithrillion, given her fragment's time at Swordbase. I also can't help but wonder if Maithrillion might actually turn up in the lore sometime in the near future. Anyway, that wraps things up for now. Halo Fleet Battles is now available for purchase. If you're interested, there's a link in the description box and one in the Canon Fodder article itself. If you're hesitant, smaller battle packs will be releasing at a later date, and I'm sure plenty of reviews, my own included, will be released. For me, my box has finally arrived, and I can't wait to bust it open. So for now, this has been Halo Canon, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing, and sharing it around. You are the reason I get to keep doing this, so thank you, profusely thank you. If you want to dive deeper into Halo's lore, head over to the Halo Archive. It's a lore-based community that welcomes everyone from experts to rookies. No matter what your working knowledge, you'll be sure to find a friend and a good time.